Good afternoon, everyone. My name's Debbie Ryan. I'm from Impact and Invest, and I'm delighted to bring you an interview with Engen Systems, the latest addition to our platform. I'd like to introduce you to Tim Hawkins, MD and CEO.
Hello.
Hi, Tim. And Christian Kumar. Give us a wave.
Hi, how are you?
Fantastic. And Graham Boyardini.
Hello there.
Great. Now everyone's on board. So, Graham, let's kick off with you. Why don't you give me a little bit about the background to Engen and how you got here and what it is you're actually doing?
Thank you, Debbie. That's a great question. The company was set up in October last year, but there's a huge amount more history to the company than that. Our business partner, Peter Jeffrey, he came up with the idea for this 41 years ago when he was working in Libya, and he went and visited the ancient city of Cyrene. He worked out how the Greeks back nearly 1,000 years BC were taking water from the mountains and they were bringing it down with this wonderful black basalt channel. And by the time it got down to their spa bathhouse, it was 90 degrees centigrade. And Peter actually made a pot of tea, how very British of him, with the hot water that was created. And that sparked an idea in his mind about how you could use the heat to generate electricity. And over the last 41 years, he's worked out pretty much every way how not to do it. And he's come up with a solution, which is, in our opinion, the most efficient way of taking waste heat from industrial manufacturing power industries and converting it into electricity.
Wow, that's fantastic. Well, hopefully the next 41 years will be, if not as much, more productive. So what are the plans for the next 12 to 18 months? Tim, do you want to give us an overview of where things are going?
Yes, thank you. The business has been substantially funded by the people who you see today in front of you. And we've essentially got that now to first production model. We've de-risked the project to the point now where we feel like we could take in some external financing. And our business model really rests upon one particular aspect. And we intend to be a company which engages in power purchase agreements. To satisfy that, we're going to need a little bit of working capital, because that requires us to fund the machinery upfront to install to customers. We've had a lot of conversations along this journey with potential customers, partners, and people who have just been very curious intellectually and really want to be a part of this and have seen the benefits that reprocessing waste heat, which is a free resource, into electricity can bring. So that is going to require us to, have an inventory of equipment that we can then put into installations and then generate electricity off of that. And that obviously is going to require some further funding, which is really, where we are at now. And once we get to a certain critical mass in terms of sales, then, we will be a self-funded business going forward.
Fantastic, and all the better for the planet as well. Them installations, will they be your own plants or will they be linked to other high energy consumers across the UK?
Essentially, anybody who has spare heat to a certain grade, which we require that we can then reprocess and make steam out of to a minimum operating temperature. Anybody who has that basic raw material is a potential user and customer of ours, and will be able to benefit from effectively generating free electricity.
Wow, free electricity, that's got to be good for business, and as we said before, also for the planet. Christian, do you want to touch a little bit on the impact that this technology brings?
Certainly, Debbie. I mean, if you look at the mindset of a lot of investors and the way larger corporates are changing their investment styles and criteria, having an impact on the environment or the social well-being has become quite paramount. And one of the major benefits of Engen is not just the free power, the utilization of waste heat, but also taking into consideration what the alternatives are. And if you look at, China burning coal leads to 670,000 deaths per year. If you put that into perspective today, that's almost 4 times the COVID deaths in the UK. So for us, it was more important, or not only as important, to have a viable business model, but also to make sure that we were tracking and benefiting the environment as well. And again, utilizing waste heat versus coal power, nuclear powered energy generation systems was one of the areas where we're providing the best benefit.
Absolutely, and our philosophy is people, planet, profit. Absolutely, we need to protect the planet, but we also need to protect its inhabitants, whether they're people or animals as well, because it goes hand in hand. And at the same time, making sure we've got good, strong, viable businesses that are there, can generate sufficient incomes to see themselves through into sustainability, as Tim said. So we've got our audience watching today. Hopefully they're on social media, getting ready to get involved. Tim, what would you like to see from our audience? Are you looking for partners? What's the call to action you've got from the people who are watching us?
The call to action is to address some of the issues that we have created for ourselves as a race. Now, our solution we believe is a great solution. We believe that we have the most efficient waste heat processing to electricity system that is available. 70% of all energy produced globally is thrown away in the form of waste heat. That is a staggering waste of energy and a huge missed opportunity. And I think it's interesting that you're seeing governments now taking action. The EU has slashed emission targets even further, so that by 2030 we're required to be at output levels at least 55% below 1990 levels. And then just to make it a little bit more hard, so you can't buy your way out of it, they've also rebased the emissions trading scheme, and the price of carbon is going up, pretty steeply as we speak. So it's really a sort of a call to arms to kind of help us to help the planet and to help the environmental social good. And I think the other thing that is quite key is that I think it started last spring with I believe BlackRock, who said we're not going to invest in anything that now is not for the social good, right up to last week's news where Aviva said we're going to start actually de-investing away from companies who are not have a strong ESG agenda. So that's really the kind of the mission statement of where we are.
Fantastic. And whilst de-investment is good, positive social investment directly into businesses like yours is absolutely crucial. And as Christian mentioned, COVID there, post-COVID, the government's ambition for a green recovery plan, for restructuring this country so that we are stronger, better, greener, is absolutely at the top of the agenda today. So thanks very much for that, all of you. It's been great to get a little snippet of insight into Engen Systems, and we'll be looking forward to your webinar this week, which goes into more details. So to our audience out there, if you're interested in finding more about Engen, perhaps you're a huge consumer of energy and think that technology might be right up your street, then get in touch with me. My email address and contact details are right at the end of this video, and I'd be delighted to make the introductions for you. But that's it. Over to you. Bye now, guys. Speak soon.